Let's play from the top. That's amazing. We get 3 creatures out, 2 of them not even from our hand. Reach. And then we're ready to just like buff up, right? Or we just chump block for now. Right, we have the Shambler, so let's kind of spread that threat around. Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we're playing Selesyna counters. This refers to +1/+1s that are put on your creature, increasing their strength and toughness. This deck does an amazing job at stacking counters very quickly and very efficiently. As always, we're going to break down the deck list in its entirety, talking about each individual card, the strengths, the weaknesses, why it was chosen to be included within this deck. Then we'll visit the strategy and synergy, what's our overall game plan, and the steps we take to get there. Finally, we have the gameplay footage breaking down all of the play lines and interactions. You know, it's good to know how your deck operates. It's even better to know how it's going to engage with the rest of the environment or your opponents. Finally, we have my closing thoughts, reviewing the deck, talking about our future content plans, etc, etc. So if you find any value within the video, I really encourage you to go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share it out to a friend. Let's get right into it. You know, this deck doesn't specifically focus around a single card. Typically we highlight that card and go through it. What it does focus around is the archetype or the common mechanic of +1/+1 counters. Starting out our 1-drops, we have 4 copies of Swarm Shambler. This is a 0/0 creature which enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it, and whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes a target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. So if any stuff of ours gets targeted, we get to replace it with a 1/1, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it does help quite a bit considering how wide we're going to go. But let's get into that more in a second. We can also pay 1 plus tapping Swarm Shambler to put another +1/+1 counter on it. It's a great way to, you know, use that excess mana on your opponent's end step, tapping it because you don't need the defender anymore, while making it a stronger insect. Obviously, you probably don't attack with this right away because there's rogue flash blockers, stuff like this that can just kill it. So you just post up and get bigger and let the turns pass. 4 copies of Stonecoil Serpent, another 0/0, this time with Reach and Trample, protection from multicolor, and it enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. This is a scaling spell, which means we can cast it for any amount of mana that we want. 0, it will die if you cast it for 0. Don't do that. We can cast it, although from 1, you know, all the way up to 1,000,000 if we want. Into our 2-drops, Conclave Mentor. So I mentioned cards that the deck revolves around. They're not really being one. If I had to pick one, this could be one of them. There's a few of them though. It's a 2/2, and if 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, put that many +1/+1 counters on that creature +1 instead. And then whenever Conclave Mentor dies, you gain life equal to its power. So you can put all the counters on it and then gain a bunch of life when it dies. 3 copies of Scavenging Ooze, a 2/2, in which we can pay 1, exiling target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on it and gain 1 life. You know, Earl's not there to be exiled, but there still are some targets that come about, and regardless, you know, it's just a good creature even if you don't have to deal with Earl on the regular. 3 copies of Inscription of Abundance. This is an instant speed spell, kicker for 3, so total for 5 if you choose, and then choose 1. If it was kicked, choose any number instead. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature, and if you had the Mentor, it would be 3. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Meh. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Not too shabby. 4 copies of Luminarch Aspirant, a 1/1, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Decent. Kabira Takedown / Kabira Plateau. This is a MDFC land coming in tapped, adding a plains or white to our pool. And at instant speed for 2, Takedown deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker. Into our 3-drops, one of my favorite cards of the set, Skyclave Apparition, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent an opponent controls with converted mana cost 4 or less. When it leaves the battlefield, exile its card's owner creates a XX blue illusion creature token where X is that card's converted mana cost. 1 copy of Khalni Ambush, or Khalni Territory, pardon my pronunciation. Again, this is an MDFC, entering tapped, adding a green to our pool. On the opposing side, instant speed for 3, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Another engine in the deck, and now I could put this beside the Conclave Mentor because that's how good it is. It's a 2/2 Oran-Rief Ooze, and when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It can be itself, it could be something else. And then whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. A single copy of Kazandu Mammoth and Kazandu Valley, a rare MDFC, coming in tapped, adding a green to our pool. And on the opposing side is a 3/3 with landfall, gaining +2/+2 whenever a land enters the battlefield. A single copy for 4 of Felidar Retreat, an enchantment with landfall. We can either create a 2/2 white cat beast token or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control. Those creatures gain vigilance until the end of turn. Wow. 2 copies of Basri's Lieutenant, a 3/4 vigilance, protection from multicolored. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, much like the Reef Ooze. However, unlike it, whenever Basri's Lieutenant or another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Don't mind if we do. For 9, we have 2 copies of the Great Henge. Of course, this spell does cost X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. We can tap it to add 2 green to our pool, plus gaining 2 life. And whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and more importantly, draw a card. I guess the +1/+1 counter actually is really relevant within this deck. 2 copies of Emeria's Call or Emeria's Shattered Skyclave. This costs 7. It is the Bolt land or Mythic MDFC. Sorcery speed. Create 2 4/4 white angel warriors with flying. Non-angels you control gain indestructible until your next turn. That's quite nice. And on the opposing side, you know, it is the Bolt land, coming in tapped unless we pay 3 land, producing a plains. These spells are also accompanied by 5 plains, 7 forests, 4 Branchloft/Boulderloft Pathways, 1 single Crawling Barrens, my favorite card, and 4 Fabled Passages. The Barrens, we can pay 4 mana at any point to put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. It can become a land if we want, and those counters don't leave, which is pretty cool, so there is great synergy there. These spells do have a sideboard. We're playing traditional today. 2 copies of Giant Killer for 1, a 1/2 in which we can pay 2, plus tapping it to tap another target creature. It also has Chop Down for 3 at instant speed as the adventure. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. 2 copies of Containment Priest, 2/2 with flash, and if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. 3 copies of Archon of Emeria, a 2/3 with flying, and each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponent control enter the battlefield tapped. 2 copies of Club Warden, a 3/5 with lifelink, mutate for 4, and whenever this creature mutates, create 2 1/1 white cat creatures with a lifelink. 2 copies of Gemrazor, Reach Trample, 4/4, mutate for 3. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. 2 copies of Vivian, Monster's Advocate for 5, 3 loyalty when she enters, a couple static abilities. You may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may cast spells from the top of your library, creature spells at that only, sorry. And +1, create a 3/3 green beast with Reach, Vigilance, or Trample on it. -2, whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost and put it into the battlefield. That's got huge synergy. Cragplate Baloth, this is a 6/6 with hexproof and haste, can't be countered. Kicker for 3, so we are talking about 10 total. And if it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it, I guess. And then a single copy of Wildwood Scourge, a 0/0, entering the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on another non-Hydra creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on the Wildwood Scourge. You know, that's just groovy. So that's the deck list, that's the sideboard. Let's take a look at the strategies and synergies incorporated within this Selesyna counters deck. You guys already know if you watched my Abzan video. If you haven't, go check it out. It's beastly. This is just as good though, if not maybe a little bit more consistent because it doesn't incorporate black. We go wide. We play a ton of creatures. We put counters on all of those creatures. Those counters increase and multiply, and we just smash in for an unbelievable amount of damage. That's our main goal here. You just outvalue your opponent with a hammer. It's a blunt way to put it, but that's that. So, you know, everything has a +1/+1 counter on it. Literally everything, and then everything else accentuates that. The Mentor, you get that amount of counters +1. That's a stackable ability. The Reef Ooze, When you attack, they get an additional +1/+1 counter on it if they had one. That's another stackable ability, right? And then we have the Aspirant, which puts counters on stuff. Again, doubling through the Mentor, basically, because it puts 1 and then 2. And then the Lieutenant. It's just, there are so many good things here. I cannot even begin to break down these strategies and synergies. That strategy, again, is go wide. Put +1/+1 counters on everything. You know, make those counters increase and smash your opponent down. There are a few pieces of removal. Our Abundance can be used as removal. The Ambush can be used as removal. The Apparition can be used as removal. The Takedown can be used as removal, right? So there are a few copies of removal within the deck, and now you want it removing Omnaths, Cobras, Scoots, stuff like this. So any really high priority things that are going to get to you and kill you, get them off the board, remove them. It shouldn't be that hard. And just smash your opponent. Make sure that you kind of give yourself an insurance policy with Basri's Lieutenant. Spread your +1/+1s everywhere. Play the Lieutenant, and then you've got a insurance policy, excuse me, from Field Wipes. I'm dying. Anyways, so before I throw up in my mouth anymore, that's the deck list. That's the general strategy. There's not much to it. If you want a more in-depth guide on the +1/+1 counters, check out my Abzan video. Let's get into today's gameplay footage. Oh, I guess the sideboard strategy. You know, take out what's bad, put in what's good. I'm being short-minded today. I haven't eaten yet. We're behind on lunch schedule. You know, if you need more removal, the Giant Killer. If there's stuff not being cast, like the Genesis Ultimatum, Containment Priest. If they're trying to play super aggro in multiple turns, multiple spells per turn, Archon. If it's an aggro deck and you need life gain, the Cub Warden. Exile, Artifact Enchantment, Gemraiser. Things like rogues with flying, you take Reach through Vivian. Counter magic, you take your Baloth. And then, you know, just for extra sauce, you could take your Scourge if there's no removal. So again, take out what didn't work with you, and then put in what will work better with you, or for you, I should say. Again, if there's nothing that you need to remove, take out your removal and put in more heat. If there's lots of stuff for you to remove, put in some removal and take out some of your, you know, your non-removal. So that's my general sideboard guide. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend. I'm live on YouTube every morning at 7 a.m. at 6 a.m. sorry, and then at 7 we switch to Twitch, and then we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. every single day. Links are in the link tree link below. The Overwolf link is for the MTGA Assistant. Check that out as well. Deck write-ups, deck videos, metagame analysis, everything you could possibly want is there to make you a better Magic the Gathering arena player. I'm dead today. This is my 3rd video. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end because we have some once-in-a-lifetime news that you guys absolutely cannot miss out on. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Playing first. Yeah, okay. Well, land's bad. One drop's good. Going first is good. Worst case, we just don't drop our Mentor on point. Yeah, we're seeing only like an 8% chance to drop planes is the thing. But the 1 drop is nice. And we have a 2 drop, right? That's not the worst. If we drop planes, it's amazing. But let's not kind of be too down on it just yet. It's got potential. And heck, there's no Uro, so let's get him. Okay, there is still adventure though. The fight is probably useful here. On the Cobra, I guess. Wow. Not good. Let's threaten the Cobra. Passage, double cracks. Takes them to 4. What are you doing with all that mana? Alright, we make an insect. I don't know why they wouldn't have dealt with the Shambler first. That's fine. What in the world? Okay. Man, I sure wish I had that. Planes! Let's just kill the Cobra. Right? What do you do? Just try to snuff it out. We need a plains. Let's get this retreat in play. Come on, give us a plains for our retreat, see? This is not the worst. I mean, it's not good. At least we get to double drop. Taking a decent amount of damage, though, is the thing. The Shambler abilities do stack, so we'll create 2 insects. Not the worst. Also not the best. Okay. No sideboard action. Just taking it. Plains, baby. Plains. So you see why we should have mulliganed now, right? Like, even though it did have a good start, that's where it ended. So, that's game, as far as I'm concerned. We can put the tokens on the Shamblers, but... Yup. That's a good game. Go to the sideboard here. For a passage. You dog. Obviously taking a mountain, I assume. They can't stomp, they don't have the mana. No shock either. Big hit. Ouch. Plains? Come on, man. What the heck? I mean, we could have double blocked. If we can get this henge in play. Again, we still just need a plains. Give us a plains, man. This is a hard luck. Oof. Ouchies. Hot damn! A little late, but I'll take it. Of course, we only have one of them. So we should have went with our aspirant. It just doesn't even matter. Clover, nice. I guess we should have probably went with our retreat for chump blockers. Now we basically have to go with our aspirant. We kind of... Still no land. I guess it's not the worst. Life gain. And we have reach as well. We need to power the reach up. Shoot, we should have done that turn. Dang it! Alright, we need a land. We need to play the retreat, play the land on top of it. Please. Oh no. Oh my gosh. This isn't good. Where's the Draenith Magistrate when you need it? Alright, we do get the 2 insects. 4 insects, actually. We lose our reach. We lose our life gain. Which sets our next turn up for failure. Just the flyers can hit. Oh, no, 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 that was not the creature. Shit. Oh well. Little mistakes, little mistakes. We do gain a little bit of life here. The reach is good. They have so much firepower to send our way. We're gonna put this in for 1, it comes in for 2. We're gonna play our other aspirant. No attacks. This is so awkward. Oh, Omnath can just kill us. They just can deal damage. Oh yeah. Life up, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. We're good. We are good. They could do Heart's Desire a couple times, I guess. Unless they already have. It's hard to tell. At the very least, we're going the distance with an adventure deck, right? Which is hard to do. Adventure Omnath deck as well. Maybe they're just tired of it. They're like, ah, screw this match. We need a lot more life gain is the thing. This henge will help us out with the life. That's something. Right? Maybe our opponent had to go back to work, their lunch break ended. Right? They're like, ah! I thought I'd smash someone in 10 minutes. Normally, I have 3 people concede within that amount of time. Because this isn't my connection, I'm fine. Like, this is not me at all. This is definitely just our opponent, you know? Having a little rope lunch. Right? Nothing accents a hard day's work like a little rope lunch. We need the life gain through the Conclave Mentor, so we really want to stack those +1s on the Mentor. Right? We have plenty of insects. And yeah, this is just a great way for you really to represent your name within the arena community. Stayer Arofan. Welcome to the Roper Committee. And we got as content creators, we've got a wall with people's names on it. You know, down at the pub. Yeah, you're not allowed in. Your name's on the wall. In all honesty, it could be a connection issue. But let's just give him a little love. Little heartsies make the day go better. Go by better. Still no land, so let's henge. And this still isn't a land, so let's just gain life, draw a card. Maybe it is a land. Negative, but that is so good. What a top deck. And then we get the land. We're gonna save the land for next turn. We're going on Conclave Mentor. And now the Conclave Mentor is going to attack for 8. We could probably attack with more of our creatures. Right? Chump blocks. Just got the 1/1s. But if, you know, they're truly not here and truly just roping us. So this is where it comes in weird. Do you try to maintain your illusion of not being here so I get distracted and you get the win eventually by not chump blocking and taking the 8 damage? Or do you signify that you are here, just eating a salt sandwich, and block with the 1/1 to mitigate the 8 damage? Either way, we have another game to play, which is the thing. They come back, awkward. They don't come back. We just got a 2-for-1 special on wins today. Right? Playing traditional, you know, if we do get 2 clicks here, and we do, that's a 2-for-1 special. Mwah! Traditional standard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Playing first. The land has never been worse. We are taking the mulligan here for sure. Well, that looks a lot better. I guess we... These are both pathways. We're fine. We can toss whatever we want. Let's toss the call. And, you know, building in to that Sky Apparition. We've got a couple fight effects potentially. Dimir Rogues on a portling board state. Shambler in play. We have an Apparition up next. Fight effects to protect if they do anything. No counters, or at least no drown in the locks. They will... This is instant speed for 3, so let's play the land. And why did that not come out as a plains? We didn't even get the option to select. Did you guys see that? It just straight came out as a forest. What the hell? What the H? Oh, man. I mean, they have the 1/3 flash defender, which is kind of what we're hoping for here. Let's end our turn. I can't believe our land played wrong. That's ridiculous. Like, I'm physically upset by that. We're gonna have to play 3 rounds just because our land decided not to let us choose. Like, you guys can rewind that. You can see that. That was not on me. Well, if we're dying, we may as well fight. Right? That way we just keep the field even. It's not good. Like, unless we draw planes, which we don't. We should attack first, pull the blocker, but whatever. Let's just grab that counter. 1 drown in the lock. Nice! Let's just keep going after it. Sure could use another planes. Hashtag what the hell. It's not bad. Another counterspell. There has to be. Yeah, okay. No blocks, that means. Woohoo! Insect power! 1 damage at a time is all we need. Be right back. Oh gosh, I've got a pizza on. It's getting a little smoky in here. I was like, what's that smell? Look over, it's just pure haze. I unplugged the fire detector after the last time. It was too loud, it ruined the recording. Put it on the insect, it's low priority, so they're more likely to remove the reef ooze. Oh, you bastard. Maybe a bad choice there. I don't know. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. This is a hard match. Thanks, land. I'm blaming the land the whole time here. We 100% need a planes off the top. If we don't, we die. Oof, sack's fine. Draw card's fine. Discard card's fine. Give us a planes, give us a planes, give us a planes. Heck yeah, you did. Heck yeah, you did. Good on ya, game. That's a planes. Let's snag that little booty off the top shelf. Now I wish we had put the token on it. Would they have still bounced the insect, or would they just put the reef to our hand, which would have been more beneficial for us? So a little misplay there, I think, but let's move past it. Awesome. Let's attack first. Don't you counter this? If there was a card to counter, this is the one. Okay, and we definitely do see it countered. We're hitting for 4, they only hit for 3. Big hits. They've got good defense now too. But no more offense. That's for 5. Woohoo! Hopefully it will hold up here, right? Obviously a single removal spell will eat it, like Drown in the Loch. Oh no, not Drown in the Loch, it's protection for multicolored. Haha, nice. They need single colored removal. Petty Theft gets us. They could have Heartless Act or, you know, many of those things. Smash. Oh, yeah. That's good. That is good. Down to 1. Can they push their rogues up? We're getting hit for 6. Maybe we should have kept a defender. If they have another Thought Thief, we lose. Oops. They do, don't they? No, they don't? What's going on here? Wow, we got lucky. I thought they had another Thought Thief. I was like, why didn't we keep our reach back to defend, you fool? Talking about reach back to defend. Vivian makes creatures with reach. Can't be countered? Maybe. Can still get wrecked, though. Let's let it rock like this. Should be fine. Shouldn't be a problem, Mr. Zek18. Land looks not bad. Got to crack a passage early, but... That's okay. Islands, just more rogues. I feel like this is our second match, actually. I was gonna say this is a new match and it's rogues again. And they know what we are, so there's no need to wait. Now that we become aware of that. That's a bad habit of having played best of one for so long. If for one, we milled a 2. Which makes the passage maybe not such a great play. Okay. I like the attack, but at a certain point we should just play the land. If we can get some Vivians out and make those reach 3/3s, that could be neat. That could be a neat occurrence here. Of course, they do have to hit the field. Okay, we get the insect. It's still not good, though. Down to 2 cards in hand. Now that could be our saving grace. They could burn themselves out. Let's continue wrecking it. My cat's wrecking something. Let's take the Thought Thief, right? We get to hit for 1. Insect power. Ending your turn. Maya's going nuts. She's throwing a temper tantrum. She's like, we're supposed to be walking. Of course, we are recording a little bit later than normal today, as we did wait for the ban announcement to make new footage for the day. We just have so much pre-ban footage that we didn't need any more of it. So this is kind of where it gets fun, right? We can Serpent for 4. 8 Engrave, that's kind of messy. Basri's Lieutenant would be a good drop here as well, potentially. Or we Ooze and then Serpent for 2. It's Flash. It has Death Touch. We trade. No, they don't take out the Apparition. Just the Insect. Interesting. In for 4. I don't think a counterspell, no. And now we've got protection from multicolored. They'll need to kick. Actually, they don't even have to kick it. Converted mana cost 0 on X spells. Yeah. Ouch! Why did I say that out loud? Alright, they're swinging. They're swinging. Alright, so we're ready to drop our Vivian and just make reach creatures, right? Is that the go-to? We've got 2 copies of it, so we should be able to just kind of mess around with it. It hits, and now we just make reach. Please and thank you. No attacks. I don't really care to offer the Apparition. At this point, we're just playing defensively. We're going to close this game out. Go 2 in a row. We may get roped here, right? Just because it's become an unwinnable situation. Kill the Enforcer. The Robber can sacrifice itself, so let's at least get some value in the trade. We're at 12 life, and we have the Ooze to gain more life. I mean, I know we have cards in the grave at least. Right? A bunch of creatures in there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-O. We should have double blocked. We should have double blocked. We should have double blocked. Is that enough to change the pace of the game? They get to pull a permanent from our grave. There's no Felidar there. What do they take? Okay, yeah, a Reef Ooze. counter on itself. We should still be fine. This is still a match somehow. Oh gosh. What a day. Let's play from the top. That's amazing. We get 3 creatures out, 2 of them not even from our hand. Reach. And then we're ready to just like buff up, right? Or we just chump block for now. Right, we have the Shambler, so let's kind of spread that threat around. Vivian still remains in play. Basri's Lieutenant hits. We've got 1/1s on everything. The Trickster, if anything was going to get us, it was that Trickster. And all they pulled was an Ooze, so that's good news for us. They pay 3 life to play the Scavenger, which again, we've got Reach. It's just a little bit of life gain for them at this point, without removal. No attacks. That's amazing. What's +1 here? Another Reach.
Diversity is our greatest strength.
And yeah. Let's secure our field state. We're so far away from 7 that this can just come and tap. We could have paid life for it, but I think that's a little weird. And yeah, I think this is gonna just get weird for them as well. Also us. Let's push Basri up so it's a nice defender. And why not put one on the Apparition too, just so we do get the 2/2 with Vigilance if it dies. We have Vigilance on the Lieutenant as well, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, we can't attack yet. Ending our turn, we can put a +1/+1 on the Shambler with our open mana. Right, we do have the 2 with Reach. There's our block. It's a trade, and the Reach counter counts as one of Basri's counter, and just like that, we continue our 100% win rate. Back-to-back wins, 4 chunks of rank. We're into Diamond 2. Next up, Mythic. All right, I'm dying of hunger. I gotta go eat. Just getting dizzy. We had a 100% win rate with this deck. You know, absolutely beastly. It's a fine-tuned version of the Abzan deck that we watched the other day. If you've not seen it, check it out. It's amazing. It did so well on the channel, and I think this one's going to do really good as well. So, Uro's gone. Omnath is still a problem. It's just, what do you do, right? So this deck is a banger. Play it. Let me know your comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, support financially, Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and the new Amazon link. And we will be back with another Magic the Gathering Arena video soon. Make sure to watch another if you've got more spare time, and we will talk to you guys a little later. Don't forget our live schedule, links in the description below. Snoop around, you'll find what you're looking for. Go have yourselves a magical day. We'll see you soon.